everyone. Welcome to this new moon in Pisces forecast. The new moon will be on the 23rd of February, European time. And then it's going to be a very intense new moon, a lot of cleansing happening within each of us, but also, as I explained, as I wrote in the title, it's going to be a new moon where we are asked to listen to the inner voice and love ourselves the way we are, instead of loving what we think we are. It is an intense time. The day of the new moon, it's the 23rd, and 23 in sacred numerology represents death and resurrection. And in the Aura-Soma system, bottle 23 is the bottle that is related to Angel Ariel. Angel Ariel, which is the 46th angel, is the Lion of God. Ariel means God, the Revelator, and then is made up of the Hebrew letters Ain, Resh, Yud. The angel of the Lion of God, because it's about, it means to find the inner strength to be who we truly are, to leave the past behind, the past attitude behind, and then to divorce from the past and start loving ourselves the way we truly deeply are. Ain, the letter Ain, which is the first letter of Ariel, means to be able, is a Hebrew letter that is asking us to start looking, to start perceiving reality through the eyes of God, not through the eyes of our senses, or our perception, or our belief system, because whatever we see, remember, is already in our brain. So we can't see what we haven't seen or we haven't understood already. So we always see what is there, and we are asked to go beyond appearances, to listen to something deeply within. The only way to go beyond the appearances is to listen to the inner voice. And the Resh, the second letter of Ariel, this letter has the shape of a bent head, because it's asking, on one level, is asking us to choose to leave behind, to leave all the illusion we had about ourselves and the world behind. And then Yud, the last letter, is to see the effect in the material world, because it's the law of God. The Yud or Yod is the law of God. The effect of what we believed before in our life manifested in front of us, so that we can shift, move our attention, our head from one place into another, reorient ourselves. So it is an angel that is asking us to reveal, it's supporting us in revealing the plan and support our intuition. Especially at this stage, there is the energy of the moment is really about change. Pink, if you look at this bottle, is pink, is actually red. And if we look at red in the astrological system, we see that red is associated with to Aries. Aries rules the head. And then, from the esoteric point of view, when we have a planet in Aries, we are asked to, most of the time, to focus our head, concentrate, focus our head, reorient our way of thinking. And at this time, we have in Aries, we have Venus. Venus is at 18 degrees, 17 minutes. Today I was teaching, I taught the second part of the course, I Ching and numerology. And we really looked at the meaning of these two hexagrams, hexagram 17 and hexagram 18, which are very important at this stage. And I'm going to share with you what was the understanding of these hexagrams, because 17 is about following. It's called following, having the courage to follow the inner truth and to persist in following our inner truth. Every time we have a degree in astrology, the number related behind, so in this case it's 17, behind the number of the degree, the minutes, is associated to the energy that is pushing through and asking the number in front to move through. So the energy of 17, the hexagram 17, is pushing to asking us to follow, to listen to our inner voice. And then 18 is about having the courage to leave behind all the belief system associated to other people's authority and listen to our inner authority, manifest our inner authority in the world. So Venus, which is the goddess of love, is in a way supporting a process of manifesting in the world of duality, in the material world, the inner voice of the soul. So this is truly, truly very important, because conjunct Venus, we have Eris, the goddess of discord, at 23 degrees 23. So the goddess of discord is discord, from the etymology of the word comes from Latin, and then discord, which means something that is not in harmony, with our chord. In Latin, core is our heart. So we really are pushed to listen to that, forced to listen to the voice of the heart, and manifest something completely new. 23 is a 5, and 5 is the number of the soul, is the number of change, is going beyond the 5 senses. But the fact that we are in February, which is a month associated, is the second month, so associated to number 2, talks about a duality that we're going to experience within ourselves, between what we think we are and what we feel we are. So the 52 is related to the finding the inner truth. And bottle 52 is another pale pink of a pale pink. Both bottle 23 and bottle 52 have the same bottle affirmation, which is, I love myself the way I am. So we are really asked to leave behind, to detach, because 52 in the Aura-Soma system is associated to Lady Nada, which is the Queen of Swords, which is associated to Libra, and we are asked to detach from a situation, from what we are going to live, what we live, in order to find the heart, because Libra is asking us to find the heart, needs to find the heart. And bottle 52, especially bottle 52 and bottle 53, because they are pink. Pink is the only color that, because it's an intense version of red, can be expressed in the lower part of the body, between the first and the second chakra, but also can express itself through the heart. So it is only through the heart, think about the rose quartz, we can really change, manifest what we feel in the heart. We can change our reality. And this is truly what we are asked. 5 and 2 is a 7, and then from the year 2020, which is a 4, we have a 74, which is teaching us to have faith, to sacrifice the outer world to reach the spiritual. 74 is the gematria of the Hebrew letter Lamed, which is about connecting the mind and the heart, and is teaching us to follow the way of faith, to go deeply within and listen to what we truly want. Keep away from any kind of fantasy, and not to be tempted by the earth plane in order to build a castle in the air and then listen to the inner voice. So it is an intense time of change, because also year 2020 is change not be influenced anymore by the outer world, about what we perceive as the limitation of matter. Because remember that because of the quantum physics, whatever we manifest on the outer world is a reflection of our belief system. So if we cannot go beyond the limitation, the material limitation, what we perceive as a material limitation, means that we cannot go really beyond our mind limitation. And interesting enough, the Pisces, the sign of the new moon, is the thinking process, is associated to the feet. So it's asking us to really change our way of thinking, and is also associated to the large intestine meridian, which is there to support the elimination of all the toxins, all the things that are no longer necessary in our life. So if we want to, a key affirmation for the large intestine meridian is to eliminate, to renovate. It is, and this meridian is a metal associated to the metal meridian. And metal, the element of metal in the Chinese medicine is about introspection, going within, and it is about maturity, to act in a mature way, and I mean spiritual mature way. So we need to not to hold on to the past, but sorting out what we need to eliminate that is no longer useful, and then unlock stagnation and rigidity. Is about movement and change, so that we can really move into create a new flow of life. From the energetical point of view, Pisces is also the last zodiac sign. So we are just about to end the astrological year. So we are about to end, and at the end of something we are in a way we have to face a process of gathering what was needed, what was useful, and then get rid of what is no longer needed. So at this point in time, the fixed star Regulus, which is associated to Archangel Raphael, which means God, the healer, which is Raphael is Archangel Raphael is about healing, and is just the archangel associated to the spring equinox also. So the ruler of the next the 3 months that are going to start from the spring equinox is going to be Raphael every year. And every year the fixed star Regulus at this time of the year is opposite the sun in Pisces. And then Raphael is, in a way, is creating a sort of holding the energy to create a renovation of energy, healing energy, to become a whole. Healing comes from the word whole, and healing is really the 6th house, which is about, in astrology, esoteric, in traditional astrology, is about health, and the daily living, in the daily routine, about changes, about the purification and the cleansing of the body. But from the esoterical point of view, is the house associated to going beyond the appearances, to see, to find a wholeness, to find an inner integrity. So there's a big transformation happening, and also the energy of Mars, which is at 4 degrees Capricorn, and then Uranus, which is at 3 degrees 27 in Taurus, creating a wonderful trine and a sextile with Mercury and the Moon and the Sun and Vulcan, the planet Vulcan, is pushing a new emotional inner conflict to renovate our inner self and support us, push us into the new. Because the Sabian symbol of Uranus is connecting the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which means connecting the celestial with the terrestrial. And Uranus is the voice of God, who is pushing, thanks to the help of Mars in Capricorn, pushing to break through and bring a new way of thinking. Mercury at this time is retrograde. Mercury, we know Mercury is the messenger, bringing the message from the god to humans and vice versa. Mercury is in Pisces, retrograde in Pisces, so is asking us to go within. Mercury, something that flies, is not very happy to be in the water of Pisces. So we are asked to go deeply into the emotional aspect of the self to bring a big transformation. Only when we realize that we are tired about something, we can't hold on anymore to the things that are there, we can really make the change. So we are really pushed into this change by the universal star, but the universal law, so that we can create something completely new. We need to find our inner authority and listen to the inner voice of the soul. So the total addition of the day, of the numerological addition of the day, is 29, of the new moon is 2911-2, which is a testing number. Is asking us to go into the earth plane and meet tests and trials all along the way to be able to choose, because we need really to find and listen to the voice of the heart. We need to have the self-mastery is the goal. We need to listen to our heart and then truly listen to who we truly are and not to who we think we are. And in the Proverbs 23:7, he said, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So we really need to realize that whatever we manifest is the effect of our thinking, our belief system. So the degree of the sun, of this new moon, the sun and the moon will be at 4 degrees 28, 29, depending on the minutes, which 28 is the birth of courage, is new beginning, dare to be, and 4 is go beyond your own limitation, which the combination creates a 40. 28 is a 10-1, with the 4 is a 41, which is a combination of the letter Mem in the Jewish tradition, which is water, 40, plus 1, Aleph, which is strength. So it talks about a strong flow of events or a flow of time, which can separate people on either side of the river. So do you want to be in the old, or do you want to move into the new? So there's a big choice taking place within about whether we want to be a whole and manifest a wholeness in our life, or if we want to listen to the old way of being and listen to what other people want us to be and want us to behave and do in our life. Bear in mind that Pisces rules the feet, and as I said, our thinking process. So feet is about direction, and the thinking process is asking us to regenerate and go through a big regeneration upon the mental plane, because Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, as I mentioned before. And then the 12th sign of the zodiac is related to unresolved karma. So what we haven't done is about being a victim in prison of our own personality. This is why it talks about bondage or captivity, and it talks about renunciation or detachment, or sacrifice or death. So whatever between these two we choose, this is what we're going to experience next. So it's a completion taking place of a process. The new energy will move through only in April, because the next this is the last new moon of the astrological year, because the next new moon is going to be on the 23rd of March, and it's going to be in Aries, so in the new astrological year. But the energy of the next full moon will be another 9. I've talked about the 9, and the previous full moon was on the 9th as well. So we are going through really a big ending moving through, a big shift moving through, and then we really need to, for that energy to move through, we need a big and a slow process of re-evaluation. Detach, and then leave behind the past. Leave behind what is you are tired about. The tiredness is your key point, because you need a new energy to move through. On the 21st and 22nd of March, I will be teaching a new course, which is the 12 Apostle in relation to the 12 signs of the zodiac. And interesting enough that the last apostle, the apostle associated to Pisces, is Judas Iscariot. So the one who sold Jesus, betrayed and sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. And he became depressed, and he gave up his life. So he followed what his mind told us was convenient, and the only way for him to go back to the life was to renounce to the old life and go back to spirit, even if his energy, he understood in the end what he had done to himself and to Jesus. So it's a big energy shift of energy happening, and we really need to allow that transformation and faith to happen. I was very when I was looking for the title of this new moon. I wanted to write something about faith, because it's faith about what we really feel, what the inner voice is the key point. But the point was, because we always focus on the word faith, but here is much deeper than having faith. Is really that energy, the degree of Venus, the 17 hexagram, which is about following. Follow your inner voice, which is something deeper than faith, which is a sort of endurance. We are asked to endure, to go beyond, to be able to shift. So it's the death of the old desire, the death of the personality, whatever we thought we are, in order to move into the new. The Earth, planet Earth, is opposite the Sun, is always opposite the Sun, and at this stage is conjunct the fixed star Regulus in Virgo. So he's asking us to open to ourselves to a new level of consciousness, to open ourselves to spirit, which is actually Regulus, which Archangel Raphael, is asking us to do. And the symbol of Venus, on the Sabian symbol of Venus, is the magic carpet. So the magic carpet flies upon a situation in order to look to see things from above, not to be entangled in what happened, but to be able to detach, as 52 asks us, and see and what we have to do. I said before that the Pisces is associated to the lung meridian, so to the large intestine meridian. And then if the large intestine meridian doesn't work properly, we have sadness, we have worry, we have grief, we have physical weakness, we have introversion, we have depression, irritability, discouragement, distress, apathy, confusion. We really need to go through a big process of transformation and allow to go through a big process of detoxification, firstly, of our mind and our way of thinking, because if we keep thinking in the same way, it won't help us. So we need really to eliminate what is no longer useful. So there is a beautiful, and I want to show you a beautiful, this is, have a look, this is Regulus, and there is a beautiful kite in the sky supporting that energy. And then the energy of Mars at this stage is conjunct the South Node. The South Node is our karma. Mars is pushing, is actually pushing the energy of the South Node, which is about pushing whatever happened to reveal the truth. And then the North Node, which is our Dharma, is actually this interplay between the invisible forces and the visible forces. We really need to choose the invisible forces to support us towards the guidance, the acceptance of the guidance of the heart, because it's only if we think different, a new mind can have a new body. And then, the two eclipses that we had at the beginning of the year, which had the purpose of reboot the energy, are pushing us towards the new. So creating all these crises, this tiredness, this energy, so that after April we can move into the new. So if you really, already use the Aura-Soma system, you can use both of 23 to support you through this process, and the Archangel Raphael and the Air Conditioner Raphael to change the energy, support you to the shift of energy, because we really need to listen, have the courage to display what we truly are. Being in our emotional aspect is going to support us. So allow your mind to experience your emotion so that it can be guided to shift or perceive yourself in a completely new way. So only if you listen to the beat of your heart, the voice of your heart, you can have a different light, create a new heartbeat for the new life, especially in this year that is going to represent completely a birth, because 20 is about gestation, giving birth to your new self. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and then have a wonderful new moon in Pisces. Listen to the beat of your heart. Bye bye.